Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we are back on Kcorp Watch and we have what I think is some pretty big news coming out. We do not have anything like 100% official, not anything 100% locked in yet, but we did get some new reports and some new stories today that might give us a really good idea of what's about to happen in 2023 for Kcorp and whether or not they could or could not be in the LEC. But first, I just wanted to say real quick, when you guys are watching this, I'm either going to be on my way to Chicago or already in Chicago for the LCS finals this weekend. I'm so excited. If you guys haven't heard already, I have a media pass. I'm going to be behind the scenes. I'm going to be at the press conference. I'm going to be able to record it and ask, I think, like one question to each team or something like that. And then I applied for some one-on-one interviews. Those aren't guaranteed. They're, very limited. The big media companies are going to get the interviews first. And then if there's anything left, hopefully I'll be able to get at least a couple of really good interviews this weekend. But definitely wish me luck. I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit, scared. We'll see what happens, but I'm also super excited. And if this goes well, this could really be a whole new chapter in this channel and in like my esports career, which is so exciting. We'll see how that goes. But with that being said, let's get right into what's going on today. So I tweeted this out earlier, and I'll show you guys the tweet that I'm talking about. I said, there is an Italian, XDDD. At first, I called him French. I thought he was a French reporter. One, just because I didn't really even look at the languages, because when I see it's not in English, I just click on the translate button right away. And since it was about Kcorp, and I had a couple of French fans sending it to me, I just kind of assumed that it was, a French fan and a French reporter. I didn't really, and probably I wouldn't even have been able to tell that it was Italian anyway. But yes, I didn't mean to like offend anybody, and I hope nobody gets too mad or whatever. But yes, I said he was French, so I had to correct it and say he was Italian. But there's an Italian reporter saying that Kcorp has a deal in place similar to the deal that Koi has in place with Rogue. There is some other strong evidence pointing in this direction as well. We'll get to that. And I said I'm expecting some big news very soon. Now, this tweet didn't pop off as much as I maybe hoped. That's why I retweeted it, tried to give it some extra clout. But this was definitely a big story that I think is going under the radar a little bit. And here's the tweet. This is from Francesco Lombardo. He's got a check mark. I'm not super familiar with this guy. Apparently, he's an esports reporter. That's what it says in his bio. For some companies I've never heard of, and I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying like I'm not familiar with this guy's work. I hope he does good work. I hope he's trustworthy. I hope he's reliable. I don't know. I did have an Italian person or an Italian esports fan tweet at me and be like, "Hey, this guy is pretty reliable. He usually has pretty good info and doesn't just like throw out rumors and stuff. He usually talks about stuff that's pretty legit." So at least one person was vouching for him, so I hope he's good. It seems like he has a good reputation. Again, he's a check mark. He's 5,000 followers. It doesn't seem like he's some like piss random or something like that at the very least, so that's cool. And he tweeted out, the Kcorp would have found an agreement with Astralis to acquire the majority stake in the LEC slot, building a partnership with Astralis similar to that between Koi and Rogue. He says, I expect more direct confirmations from various international reporters in the next few hours. Now, we didn't get those within the next few hours, so maybe this is bad info. Maybe it's, not true. Maybe it didn't end up happening or whatever, or maybe that means we're going to be getting some big news in the next couple of days. I mean, this weekend we do have LCS and LEC finals. Maybe they're going to wait till after the whole, LEC and LCS season is actually over to get to some of that stuff. I'm not sure, but this is what he said. He's saying Kcorp found an agreement with Astralis to do this, which is, if this is true and if this does happen, it's going to be so exciting. Obviously, getting Kcorp in the LEC is going to be absolutely amazing. Getting Reckless back in the LEC is going to be absolutely amazing. That's two things that really just need to happen, especially when it's in place of Astralis, who's kind of like a bottom feeding team. Like, that's a huge upgrade. If you were losing a big team to get in Kcorp, that might be like a small win, but losing one of your bottom teams to get in Kcorp and get in Reckless and get in that fan base and Kometo and all the things they're going to be doing, that's going to be super cool. But if they do a merger like Koi is doing with Rogue, then that also means that Kcorp, and this is, some people are talking about, is like they're going to be working with their CSGO team and all that. They're probably going to be partnering up together on Valorant. Like, this could be really big. Now, I'm sure Kcorp would have loved to get 100% of a slot or get, a total deal done or whatever, but even if they do like a 60-40 deal or 70-30 or 55-45 or something like that, that's still going to be better than nothing. And at the end of the day, it's really going to be a lot of the same. Maybe it's not going to be as much money in their pocket at the end of the day, but at least it's an in, and I think your value is going to, increase obviously a ton. Now, some of these comments I thought were kind of interesting. This person here said, and you don't shoot breaking news at me if you were among the first to know a lot of stuff. And then he replies, because unfortunately I can't get an even more direct confirmation at the international level, so I thought that was kind of interesting. And then there was another tweet as well. I'm not sure if I would be able to find this one. He says, I don't remember what he says here. There's another comment. It is not certain and is not assured yet, but all the rumors and clues lead to a yes reached in the last few hours. What the roster will be, however, is also decided. And he has another comment in here. Somebody's like, hey, how come you're not saying like this is done? How come you're not leaking this or whatever? And he pretty much says, I got this from a really, really good source. I wouldn't have put my name behind it if I wasn't really, really confident in this, or something along those lines. I can't find that tweet anymore, but he did say that. It's in here somewhere of, hey, I feel good about this. I wouldn't put my name behind it if I didn't, or of course I feel good about it. I'm putting my name behind it, which is a big thing. He's a reporter, like I said, and yes, him getting behind something seems to be big. We also had this. Somebody shared this with me. This is, again, we're translating a lot of stuff here. Yesterday, they had the opportunity to interview Kcorp to talk about Counter-Strike coming soon. And a lot of people were like, hold up, why the heck are we interviewing Kcorp about Counter-Strike? What the heck does this mean? Why is this going on? And then some other people are like, hey, are they interviewing Kcorp about Counter-Strike because they're about to pair up with Astralis and they're about to be heavily involved in the Counter-Strike scene? I don't know. Maybe that's a reach. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We also had Yusty and Justificado. This is the guy with Esports Maniacos. He chimed in. He replied to this guy's tweet and he said, hey, Kcorp would have reached an agreement with Astralis to share the LEC slot, according to Italian journalist Francesco Lombardo. If so, in 2023, we would have Heretics, Koi, and Kcorp in the highest European competition. Giga banger. So obviously, Yusty, felt good about this to, retweet it out. He doesn't think this guy's a fraud. He doesn't think he's a sham. Now, Yusty's not saying, hey, yeah, I heard this too, or hey, it's confirmed too, or whatever, but that's what it is. Somebody asked him, do you have similar information? He said, not yet, but some sources were telling me both parts were really close to reaching a deal. So even, just in a vacuum, this is a really, really interesting tweet from Justificado. But then we also got this from Wooloo. He said, one more day of Astralis still not having sold their spot, but me getting DM'd about it. Wooloo says, to be clear, I don't mind the DMs, but I can't say it's confirmed when it's not. I also get many nice DMs and comments, so thank you. Then he shares some DMs. I'm sure he gets some, nasty and not so nice DMs too. But again, this is not done. There is not an announcement. Some people are like, oh, how cool would it be if, because Reckless is on the LEC broadcast this weekend. So people are like, how cool would it be if Reckless announces on the LEC broadcast for the LEC finals that Kcorp got into the LEC? That's like fairy tale movie ending, something like that. I don't think that's going to happen. But this was at least cool to hear that there is still news moving. And there's just so many sources right now saying that, oh, Kcorp's done, or oh, Kcorp's close, or oh, they're about to get this done, or hey, Kcorp's the only team left, and Kcorp's the only team that makes sense. So many signs are pointing in this direction. It's now the second week of September. We're getting down to the time where it's either going to happen or it's not. And I do think that right now, more so than ever, it looks like Kcorp is going to be able to get this done. Again, it's not 100%, it's not done anything like that, but it seems like they're on the right track. And I really think that after the LEC finals passes this weekend, the LEC season's over. Yes, we still have Worlds, but the LEC season is going to be over next week, especially early next week, could be a really, really big time for this. And honestly, at this point, I do expect, we're hearing it from too many good sources, too many big sources, too many reliable sources, that Kcorp and Astralis are close. I do expect that Kcorp most likely will be headed to the LEC in 2023. And I'm also just hoping for that as well. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about anything we talked about in this video today. Consider checking out my Twitch stream. First link in the description below. Drop a follow, maybe a prime. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.